Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today, I want to talk about gold and silver as legal tender. And the reason I want to talk about this is because of a recent bill that DeSantis just signed for Florida. It just happened yesterday, where they now have made gold and silver legal tender. Now, there's a few different things that I want to talk about here, and I don't want to get too much into the what was announced on the news, because there was a couple inaccurate statements, to my opinion, that was on the news, where it stated that Florida is one of only 3 states. There are multiple states that have already moved to recognizing gold and silver as legal tender. The impact that this is going to have on gold and silver, in my personal opinion, it's not going to happen overnight. In fact, the law doesn't even go into effect until July of next year. So we have some time ahead of us. However, I do foresee the prices of gold and silver continuing to climb. We are on a little bit of a dip right now. We've got gold only up 25%, I think it was, 26% year to date. We have Bitcoin up about 14% year to date. And both have been doing really well. But there's a lot of people out there that think that we are going to essentially adopt cryptocurrencies, and states and the countries, including the United States, are going to move to this huge cryptocurrency future. Do I think that the blockchain is going to play a big role in that? Yes. Do I think that there's any specific coin that will play a big role? It's great to think that. I mean, I'm not going to sit here, just like I won't sit here and tell you guys that silver is going to go to $500 and gold's going to go to $20,000. Do I think it can eventually? Yeah, it can. But I'm not going to tell you those things, just like I'm going to tell you my honest opinions on gold and silver, and I'm going to tell you my honest opinions on Bitcoin. If countries wanted to do it, they would have already done it. They keep dangling this carrot, almost like a way of saying, look, we know you can't come out and say you're going to adopt cryptocurrencies, but just say you're looking into it. Say you're looking into it. That way people will find favor in it for the time being, and maybe it will continue gaining momentum, because there's a lot of people that are heavily invested in cryptocurrencies. So we may touch in a little bit on the cryptocurrencies, but the main purpose that I wanted to talk about this today is the gold and silver, and how this new law essentially, or this new bill, is definitely going to play a part in gold and silver. So before we get started, if you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. I hope you enjoy my videos that I put out. I try to put them out every Monday through Friday right now. I was doing them on the weekends, but right now, with it being summer, a lot going on, YouTube not really favoring me right now, so I've kind of slacked off on the weekends, and I am doing just videos Monday through Friday right now. Moving in, though, we're going to get into the other topics, and like I said, if you enjoy it, hit the thumbs up, and if you're a member, thank you very much. I kind of got distracted a little bit there, so I went off course a little bit. Jumping in right off, I want to take a quick look at what silver's at. So silver right now is trading at $33.25. We're in the middle of summer. I was actually talking to someone about this today too, that we're in the middle of summer right now, the time when silver and gold should be tanking. This should be the cheapest time of the year, and we're not seeing it tank. We're not even seeing it get beat down much. We're seeing it hovering right around the $33 level. And it's kind of been flat for a little while. I'm pretty happy with that, that it's not tanking, but it's not really climbing. This is good. It's building a good consolidation, in my personal opinion. And what I'm about ready to show you on gold could make you realize something special is about ready to happen, and the prices are going to climb. But I don't see it honestly happening in the summer, because like I said, the summer is when prices should be falling. The fact that they're not falling but not going up, I think, is a really good opportunity to pick up some stuff. Now, if it all of a sudden crumbles, that's great. I'll pick up some more stuff. But I'm taking advantage of the opportunities as they come up. Now, what am I going to show you that's so special on gold? So I was actually looking at the gold chart today. And something I noticed that I want you to see here is this area right here. And I want you to see, I'm going to zoom out for a minute, 5 years on the gold chart. And this is probably going to be a little bit difficult, but I want you to see that, we hit around 2000 and it started climbing up until last year. I want to take a look now at with the 1 year chart. And I want you to look at this range right here, roughly September of 24. We had gold get up to roughly $2,677. I mean, there's no point in saying the exact number. We'll say 2,600, 2,700. And it kind of stayed flat for September, October, November, December, January. And then all of a sudden, right around February, we started climbing again. A lot of people thought this climb right here was going to just be like this climb right here. And then it just kept going and going and going and going. And it really took off, and it went all the way up to basically 3,500. And right now, we're seeing some sideways trading as we're not at 35, which was the peak. And it was only the peak for like 1 day, 3,500. So don't think like, oh, it went to 35 and now it's coming back down. No. It went to 35, and then it did come down. It came down to 32. Then it jumped back up to 34.50. Then it came down to 31. Then it jumped back up to 34. And here's the thing. It's having a hard time really collapsing, as whenever it comes down, there is a huge amount of buying that is taking place on gold. And I think a lot of that has to do with that a lot of people are starting to realize the more this stuff makes news about, we'll say Florida for now, signing this bill into place that recognizes gold and silver, it kind of gives people an opportunity to essentially not support the central bank digital currency agenda. And, Florida was huge on this. If it wasn't for all the hurricanes that Florida tends to get, it's like they're just that peninsula out there that just seems to catch everything. I would love to live in Florida. But, hey, that's why I stay in Texas. And I'll be honest, I'm not in any better of a spot, I guess. But I do like Texas, but I like Florida too, because Florida is making a lot of moves to essentially solidify gold and silver as money. And I think eventually something is going to happen that it's going to drastically change the world. As more and more countries are buying up gold and silver, as more and more people are realizing that the amount of debt that the U.S. has, that the amount of debt people have can't go can't go on forever. You have to understand, this can't go on forever. I mean, just like a person cannot continue to borrow money indefinitely. Now, today I was actually talking at my bank. I was picking up some pennies. Why? Because I'm trying to gather up some extra copper pennies right now, because I think the opportunity to pick up copper pennies are going to kind of fall by the wayside. Now, I know not all pennies are copper. You do have to look through them. But whenever I have an opportunity, whenever they get a bunch of pennies, I've already talked to my bank. They usually call me up, and I'll go in and pick up stuff. Right now, there are a lot of people that are turning in pennies thinking, oh, I don't want to lose that money. Like, I mean, you'll probably always be able to cash in your pennies. I mean, let's be honest. But there are people out there that are hurrying up and cashing their pennies in, thinking that, oh, once they stop making them, they're automatically going to be not in use. So needless to say, going there, I talked to her a little bit about loans, what's going on with loans right now. I talked about a few different things, and one of the things that I got told is ultimately they're going to usher in a central bank digital currency. It may not be right now under the current administration, but eventually they probably will. Now, here's what a lot of people think. A central bank digital currency has to be backed by nothing. It doesn't, in my opinion. I mean, we could have a central bank digital currency backed by gold and silver, and essentially they hold it. Now, is that the right answer? No, I'd rather hold my own gold. I'd rather hold my own silver. I'd rather secure it in my own way, the way that I deem fit. One of the things that she had said is they are getting tons and tons of scams on cryptocurrency. And I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying this because it's happening a lot. In fact, it's happening so much that banks are now starting to try to educate customers to not fall for this. Don't withdraw your savings, put it into crypto, and then lose everything. And I don't mean lose everything in the price coming down necessarily. I mean, the scams that are taking place are people essentially thinking they're buying crypto, they're putting it in the hands of other people to manage it, and then all of a sudden these other people just disappear, and you don't really have any information on the people. I'm not a big fan of cryptocurrencies. I've said that time and time again. Do I gamble on them periodically? Yes, I do. I always have. Right now, I am currently not. I sold most of my positions and everything, paid my taxes on stuff, and that's it. And now I'm waiting. I think we're kind of at a high right now because a lot of people have this belief that, government's going to adopt it because they're looking into it. They are looking into it, yes, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to adopt it. By looking into it, it kind of deflects some attention off of gold and silver, which I think they're also not just looking into, but they're actively buying it. Why are they actively buying it? Someone is obviously buying tons and tons and tons of gold. Now, do I think they're buying silver? Maybe not the governments per se, but I think the big banks are buying up silver in the form of physical, and then they're shorting the markets using paper shorts. And I think once you understand that the prices eventually will go higher. Now, one of the things that I want people to understand is when I just showed you that right here, you had that consolidation that lasted, a good 4 or 5 months. We could be, I should say, essentially in that. Now, this is not financial advice. Nobody's got a crystal ball and knows the future. Someone might joke in the comments, I know the future, or they know the future, but nobody knows 100% what's going to happen. If we did, I can tell you if I did, I probably wouldn't be making YouTube videos, but I might. I don't know. I really do enjoy it, but I might be scrambling just to try to get every bit I can, and then if I knew the top, I could sell it at that point, wait, and then get back in when it has another drop. But I think we'll eventually see another big run-up on this, and when that happens, a lot of people are going to miss out on these dips that we're experiencing right now. $3,306 is not overpriced, in my personal opinion. We have a lot of room to run. Prices of a lot of stuff is going up. I think we're going to continue to see prices continue to soar. And so that's why I think it's important that people are putting away some precious metals. Now, like I said, do I gamble on cryptocurrencies? I don't right now. Have I? Yes. I mean, and they've gone up. I've made some money. I got out. Could I have made more if I had stayed in? Yes, I could have. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you, if I'm glad I got out when I did. No, obviously getting out when I did, I would have made more money if I'd stayed in. I mean, right now we've got it at 108,976 on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been holding its own. It's consolidated to a certain point. As you can see, a lot of sideways trading right around here now over the last week. It had a nice run. A lot of people missed that run up. And, for the people out there that think, they didn't miss it, it's easy for someone to say that if they're holding it. If they're holding it, just like it's easy for me to say you didn't miss the run up on gold and silver because I already hold it. I've already invested. I've already gained my position. I'm certainly not pumping silver per se, because I always tell people I don't care if you buy. I don't care who you buy from. If you do buy, it doesn't affect me in any which way. And I don't plan on dumping my position of gold and silver. The only way I would get rid of my position is if it was for something that I really want. I mean, I wouldn't mind opening up a RV park. There's a few different projects that I've contemplated. I just don't know if I want that extra stress in my life right now. So that's kind of why I've been kind of going sideways and trying to come up with different ideas. I've wanted to open up some sort of business, but I also, part of me says, you know what, we're getting older. I want to just try to enjoy a little bit of my life, especially after recent events. I mean, a heart attack is no joke. It does make you think, do I want to go before I hit 50? No. So, that's why I'm kind of looking at a few different things and what my options are. So real quick, I want to take a look at the DXY. So DXY had a great day today. It did jump up about to 99.81. It actually did pretty well. I mean, we were down at, well, it says here 99.4. However, that was as of this morning. What it doesn't show you is as of yesterday, over the weekend, I should say, where was it? Let's take a look. Over the weekend, when you look at this chart, a 5-day chart, you can see just how bad it really got. We actually were down to 98.7. We're now at 99.8. So we're up about 1.1 in the last 24 hours. So the dollar, the DXY is looking decent. It's still trying to climb. The big question is, will it climb? How high will it climb? Because like I said, at the last Treasury bond auction, we didn't have a whole lot of buying. Taking a quick look at the debt clock, as you can see, we've gone up $5 billion in debt in just 24 hours since I filmed my video yesterday. So you can expect in another roughly 22 days, just to be safe, 22 days, we're going to hit $37 trillion. And once you understand that, then you understand there's no end. I was actually listening to the DeSantis speech today, and he estimated in 10 years we're going to be at 70 trillion at the current track we're on if things don't change. And I actually had a long debate with a friend of mine. I said, it's easy to say, hey, I don't want to cut this or I don't want to cut that, whether it be Social Security, whether it be trials, whether it be whatever the case may be. Nobody wants to cut stuff, but you can't afford everything. That's kind of the position we're in. And the fact that we're trying to afford everything is really what's going to destroy the dollar as well, because we're continuing to go into debt and buy more and more with spending. And so once you understand that, that's why a lot of people want to go to gold and silver. They want to go to Bitcoin. They want to go to what they feel is going to do wealth protection, essentially, over the next years to come. Let's just say 10 years. I mean, once you understand that, you understand why more of these bills are getting signed into play. And I think a lot of people need to understand that it is happening. And anybody that's just on the sidelines holding cash, I think they're going to get wrecked. I even question, when I'm picking up pennies every chance I get and nickels or different cash investments, I ask myself, how is this going to play out? What happened when some of y'all that have been following the channel for a while remember when I bought a box of every presidential dollar coin. That's $1,000 a box. And I started out trying to get $2,000 of every one. But then I got mad when they only made half of them. They only made 20 of them for the public. And then the next 20 you had to buy at a premium through the mint. And so I got mad and I cashed them all in for the most part. Now you can find them on eBay and stuff. And I kept some, but not many. Like a roll or two of each one just for the heck of it. But what have these investments done for me? I'll be honest, those presidential dollars did not do anything for me. I held them since the beginning of the presidential dollar campaign, I guess you can call it. That was 2008, I think. And they haven't done anything. And, so I'm asking myself, what should I be buying with every extra penny, essentially, that I get? And some people might say, oh, well, a box of pennies is only 25 bucks. Okay. I mean, 2 boxes of pennies, I could pick up, a nice ounce of silver and still have some left over. So I don't all the way know what the best way is to go about this, and that's why I said I don't have a crystal ball. But I do recognize that gold and silver is going to continue to go higher. With that being said, that is going to be it. One of the things that I was looking at, I was trying to find out exactly how many states have introduced gold and silver as money, because I found contradicting evidence to where I was first told that, no, that is an inaccurate statement, that Florida is one of only 3 states. And then I found another thing that said, no, it is true that there are only 3 states that recognize gold and silver as legal tender, according to a recent YouTube report. Well, that's why I tell you guys, I make these YouTube videos. I'm just giving you my opinion. One person's opinion is there's only 3 states. Now, like I said, there are a lot of states that are implementing new laws regarding gold and silver, whether it be West Virginia, Louisiana, Utah, Texas, Arizona, Kansas, Oklahoma, Indiana, Missouri, Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina. This is a growing thing. And once you understand that, you understand prices are going to go higher. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that prices on Bitcoin aren't going to go higher. I'm not knocking Bitcoin when I talk about it. It's a hot topic right now, so I have to include it in my conversations. I have to at least address it. It would be wrong of me to not say some mention of an asset class that is going up. And yes, Bitcoin, despite my personal beliefs, is classified now as an asset class. It's classified as a non-tangible digital asset. Will it continue to go up? Who knows? We'll see. When I hear people say it's going to go to $1 billion, it's hard not to laugh at that. Oh, there's only 21 million of them, and it's only going to keep going higher. Okay, maybe it will, but I mean, $21 billion is a huge, you know what I'm saying, statement to say that. So with that being said, going to wrap up here. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to check out some of these other great videos, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Hope you all have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.